The hardest thing to do in Minecraft. That's a pretty honorable title. To fully declare something as the most difficult thing possible in the game is definitely no easy feat. In a game where you can do anything, there are no shortage of tasks you can invent and scale to huge and probably unreachable levels. But saying that getting 1 million blocks of netherite, or I don't know, making a gold farm is the hardest thing in Minecraft is a pretty unsatisfying answer, and I think we can do better. So join me as I attempt to discover the ultimate, most difficult task in the whole game, and we'll see if your favorite YouTubers can do it and if even you can do it too. Or is it truly impossible? But you know what isn't impossible? Subscribing. If you end up enjoying the video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe. It'd be awesome to reach 30k subscribers on this channel before the end of the year, but I can't do it without the help of each and every one of you watching. It really does mean a lot, and I promise you won't regret it. But that said, let's get right into the fun. Alright, let's set some ground rules first. When I say in Minecraft, I'm talking no mods, vanilla, no data packs, and preferably single player. I also don't really want to include commands, so a piston that makes a block flash for 0.1 seconds is okay, but a command block that makes it borderline impossible is not. But now that we have those rules established, we can start thinking about what style of challenge this most difficult task will fall into. Right off the bat, I'm going to eliminate luck-based challenges. For instance, I could set up a grid of blocks and ask you, the viewer, to pick which one has a diamond block underneath it. While it is certainly difficult, there's no skill involved and you have an equal chance of guessing any of these. By the way, the answer was this one. Did you get it? So while the odds of getting 4 diamonds with these Fortune 3 pickaxe 5 times in a row is 1 in 30 billion, and the chance of getting struck by lightning twice in a row is 1 in 6 quadrillion, and sure, the chances of rolling the same seed twice in a row is pretty much non-existent, it doesn't mean that these are the hardest tasks in Minecraft because they don't take any skill. They could happen to anyone. They just probably won't. And plus, it's just a matter of time. If I throw 1 million eggs, at least one of those is going to spawn 16 chickens. The hardest task must be something that could technically never happen, so encountering rare mobs or rolling perfect enchantments can't be considered the hardest thing in Minecraft. By the same token, we can also disqualify challenges of scale. Beating the game is surely no easy feat, and beating it 1 million times and getting 1 million dragon eggs is even harder, but 1,000,001 is harder than that, and 1 billion dragon eggs is even harder than that. It's only really a matter of time. If I no-lifed my computer even longer than usual, I'm positive I could beat the game thousands of times. I just need the time to do it. So while I've seen discussions about getting 1 million notch apples or blocks of netherite or visiting every stronghold in a world or even killing one of every mob or replacing every block in the world with carved pumpkins, these things are all just a matter of time. With infinite time, all of these are pretty easy tasks. The hardest thing in Minecraft has to be the task itself. You can't just take a random chore and scale it up by 1 million. So what could that task be? I also asked some YouTubers what they thought the hardest thing in Minecraft was, and responses were mixed to say the least. Mojang's game provides the player with a plethora of potential challenges. You can collect a full netherite beacon or get one of every block in the game. There are literally tons of challenges, and there are also some pretty tricky advancements. The How Did We Get Here achievement requires every single potion effect to be applied at once, and the world record speedruns of this achievement take tons of hours to complete. However, there's one achievement that's even harder than that. The Almost There achievement. Probably the hardest in-game advancement, this task requires you to be on snapshot 20W14 infinite, and you have to, no joke, travel to 1 billion different dimensions. Even if it took 10 seconds to go to each dimension and come out, it would still take 317 years of straight dimension hopping to get this achievement. I mean, that is absolutely nuts. Without the use of a repeated command block, there is no way that this is happening in your lifetime. So is getting this achievement the hardest thing in the game? It could be, but it's also pretty much impossible. And of course, if you did have infinite time, this challenge wouldn't be that difficult at all. So I don't know if I'm satisfied with that answer just yet. But okay, what about raw skill-based challenges? Just some concrete Minecraft talent. Some things that quickly come to mind are parkour jumps. Making a 3-block jump is pretty easy, a 4-block is a little harder, and a 5-block is certainly even harder than that. Making a bow clutch while falling is certainly not something that happens every day either. Building really good builds is also no easy feat. But I don't think we can call it the hardest because anyone can eventually learn the skills to become a great builder given enough time to practice. The same, however, can cannot be said as easily for speedrunning. Beating the game as fast as possible is definitely very hard, and to get a world record is probably one of the most difficult things ever. While both are impressive, I actually think that a set seed run is a better indicator of skill as opposed to a random seed glitchless. While it does take a ton of talent to be able to harness the power of a random world, beating the game on a set seed is much easier to measure because the luck is almost fixed for everyone. So maybe setting a set seed world record is one of the most difficult things in Minecraft. Speaking of world records, there's also something completely different to consider: innovation. To be able to engineer something new is not something anyone can just go and do. Speedrunning a bedrock item, designing a working charge creeper farm, or building an algorithm to predict droppers are things that sound straight out of fantasy but have actually been done by some of the smartest people in the Minecraft community. There's even currently a $1,000 reward for finding a way to get a bedrock item in the newest versions of the game. Knowing Minecraft's various quirks well enough to even begin this kind of project is something that takes a ton of skill and is undoubtedly very hard. There's also reverse seed engineering, locating a world seed from a singular screenshot or a group of images, but it's not clear cut. There's the argument that some of these challenges are too external. To be able to reverse engineer droppers requires both in-depth knowledge of mathematics and the game's code, and that's something that's debatably outside the realm of the game. I'm not saying it's invalid, I'm just not sure how to handle it when compared to other things like the 1 billion dimensions achievement. It's a gray area that I haven't been able to fully flesh out yet. The same can be said for multiplier metrics and leaderboards. Getting onto the top of leaderboards on popular servers like Hypixel is also a very difficult task, but because being the best PvPer or the best parkourer isn't something you can particularly measure, it's not really clear where it falls either. You're relying on other people to give you a metric. If you were the only Minecraft player, you couldn't be the best PvPer because there would be nobody else to beat. Ideally, the hardest thing to do in Minecraft is a challenge that requires you to have a lot of knowledge about the game and also isn't something that's technically easy to do and will just take a lot of time. But what could something like that even look like? Well, I think I got it. A challenge that tests your knowledge about game mechanics and could theoretically be impossible. A puzzle. You've probably seen similar things floating around YouTube. You're given a box and a seemingly random selection of items that don't seem to have any obvious correlation, and your task is to figure out how to escape using those items. It's the perfect combination of difficulty and knowledge about Minecraft, and with the clever design of a friend of mine, I present you this: an escape room. The hardest escape room in Minecraft, and I'm gonna try to solve it. And hey, that's the origin of the escape room. It was originally going to be part of this video, but I had so much fun trying it myself and having all the YouTubers try it, I decided, let's just make it its own video. And I think we can say that worked out for the better, but I still had all the footage recorded for this part and I didn't want it to go to waste, so here it is, finally, like 10 months later or something, on Tweefies. Let me know in the comments what you think the hardest thing in all of Minecraft is. It's a really cool idea in my opinion, and I am curious to what you think. But thanks for watching, I'll see you next time, peace out.